Hey Cellar Hackers, welcome to the cellar. Today we're going to talk about champagne, or when you're calling it what you really call it, champagne. I got Boozy Blue baying in the background, so I'm just going to ignore her and keep on keeping on. So, champagne. I like the idea that you know a little bit more about how it's made next time you're having a glass. So, let's get into it. Primary grapes in champagne are Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Meunier. So, how's champagne made? Take those grapes, press them into a stainless steel vat, and ferment them. Sugar, yeast. It creates a still low alcohol wine, probably not worth drinking. Then take a mixture of yeast, sugar, wine, and put it with that wine into a bottle and put a crown on that bottle. So now inside the bottle, you've got a second fermentation. Yeast eating sugar, creating alcohol and carbon dioxide, which ultimately puts bubbles in the bottle. Cut.
Now this process.
So inside the bottle, you've got the yeast eating the sugar, creating carbon dioxide and alcohol, and creating those bubbles that champagne is famous for. That process takes several weeks. At some point, we're going to rest these bottles on their side with the dead yeast cells in the bottle. Over time, we're going to spin these bottles and let the yeast work its way to the neck. For some reason, this process is called riddling. Ultimately, we've got to get the dead yeast out of the neck, so we introduce cold, an ice bath, or there's some mechanics that do it. And ultimately, we pop this crown off of the bottle. It blows out the yeast, and then the winemaker has the option of putting another wine sugar mix in to taste, put the cork in, put the crown on, and put that beautiful full wrapper on, and now you've got a bottle of champagne. So that's how champagne's made. That's a little about champagne. Next time you have a glass, you kind of got an idea. Champagne versus cava versus prosecco, different methods. Champagne is called méthode traditionnelle. If it's méthode traditionnelle, it's gonna be very similar to champagne. Other methods, you may have larger bubbles, tighter bubbles, but you always end up with some great wine to drink. So until next time, cheers from the cellar. Enjoy a glass of champagne.